The empty chair technique of the therapy with energy and process, the fourth free self-help formation by Vivian Rauber de Coppet, Swiss psychologist. Here, lesson 2, a demonstration of how to work with the empty chair with a problem of relationship. They don't appreciate me. In this demonstration of the technique of the empty chair, you can very well see how one can really get into the energy of the other person when changing to that empty chair and getting into that energy. And you can really think and feel like the other person. And you can see it here. You see the change of voice that becomes low and of the posture. As you learned in lesson 1, it's very important to stay always only with your feelings. And you will see in this demonstration how the therapist interrupts when the client does not remain with the feelings, but instead intellectualizes or defends herself or talks of one has to do that. The therapist then just gently interrupts by saying, "I have asked you how you feel, not what you think or not what one has to do." You will also see the technique of the parrot, the therapist repeating what the client says with the client's own words so that the client feels understood and also then deepens, goes more into what he's saying. Okay, Blanca Maria.
Hi.
Hi. What would you like to work on?
I have the situation where I have been of service, and a friend of mine, I had to take her to the doctor, and I don't know how my friend feels about me doing everything that I've done, and also the sister of my friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's I feel like it's really difficult.
So what you would like to know how your friend feels about everything you did for her?
Yes, I can imagine that she's a little bit upset because, like she said, "Oh, I really love you, but we're very, very different." And I told her, "Yeah, I know exactly what you're trying to tell me, but everything I'm doing with all my heart, and I am supporting you."
Mm-hmm. So you're saying, she says, "I love you, but..."
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to ask her? Imagine she's sitting on this empty chair just in front of you.
Yeah.
Can you see her?
Yes, I can.
What does she look like? How is she dressed?
She's dressed in blue pants, but like not navy blue, more like mauve blue, and corresponding a little bit lighter sweater.
Mm-hmm. How does she look at you? What's her expression?
Very upset right now, and she's like angry because I left her at the doctor and I had to come back. You know, I couldn't stay there, I had to leave. I really had to leave.
What would you like to ask her? What's her name?
Susan?
Susan. Okay, ask her. Susan?
Susan? You know what? I feel like it's too close. Can I move back a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah, that's better. I think that I would like to hear from her that she realizes everything that happened.
So ask her directly. Susan, I'd like to hear from you.
Susan, I would like to hear from you how you feel about everything that happened the last 5 days, which have been very, very strong for you and for me. And I don't know if something that I personally need is recognition, and I don't know if you can give me that recognition that I need from you, or from your family, or from your family.
How do you feel now that you asked her?
Better.
Okay, so please get up. Get out of your own personal field and sit, when you're ready, on this empty chair, which will be the chair of Susan.
Okay.
And get into the energy of Susan. Susan, have you heard what Blanca Maria said? What did you hear?
I'm tired. I'm very tired.
You're very tired.
I don't want to be here. I'm very tired.
Yes, I can see that. Have you heard what Blanca Maria asked you?
Yeah.
What did she ask you?
If I can acknowledge all that she did the last 5 days.
And I think she also asked you something else before that.
I don't remember.
How you feel about what she did.
Oh. She had to fight a lot with me, to insist a lot to get the manuals so she could read.
I didn't quite get what you're saying.
She refused to open any machines until she had the service manuals in her hands.
Mm-hmm.
She really likes to open machines.
You're nodding your head, like with a no.
Women don't do that.
Women don't do that.
No.
So how did you feel about her looking for that manual?
Well, she fixed everything.
Mm-hmm. So she repaired things,
Yes.
And how did you feel about all of that?
Useless.
Useless.
Yes.
You felt useless.
Yes.
And how did you feel about Blanca Maria?
She talks too much.
She talks too much.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Well, she was always telling me what to do and what not to do.
Mm-hmm. And how did that make you feel?
Like a little girl.
Oh, and how did you like to feel like a little girl?
I need to be like a little girl. Right now I'm sick. I'm really sick. I'm so sick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick. I'm not doing well. I'm sick. And she gets upset with me because she says, don't say I'm sick every 2 seconds. And she tells me, all your words affect your cells. Don't speak like that. And then,
And how does that make you feel when she says every 2 minutes, don't say that?
I don't believe in all this energy stuff.
And how does that make you feel when she talks about all of that? Like a little girl, you said, but is that a feeling of anger, or of sadness, or of
fear or of what?
She says that I'm full of fears, and it's true. I'm full of everything is a fear. Everything. What's going to happen to me, and what if this happens to me? And I'm really full of fear, and I don't like it. I'm fearful of my fear.
And I hear that. You have lots of fears.
Yes.
But the feeling of Blanca Maria taking care of you and telling you what to do and what not to do, how did that make you feel?
I'm one that was always commanding.
Uh-huh.
I'm not used to people telling me what to do.
Yeah. You're used to commanding and not to hear what you have to do. And now that Blanca Maria was doing that, how did that make you feel?
Useless.
Useless. Yeah.
And I don't feel well. I don't feel well. I don't feel well. And it's cold. Everything is cold. Everything is cold.
Do you want to tell Blanca Maria about how that made you feel useless?
Do I have to?
No, you don't have to. What would you like to tell her?
I don't know why I called her. I don't know if I called her because I thought she could help me, or because she was the only person around, or...
You thought maybe she's the only person, or she could help me? In which way did you expect her to help you?
I don't feel well, so I don't remember if I took my medicine. I don't know if I took my medicine. It's a very bad situation. It's bad.
So how would you have expected Blanca Maria to help you? To tell you to take your medicine, or
To tell me that yes, that I'm very sick.
Ah, yeah. And she instead told you, don't say you're sick.
Yeah, she didn't say that I was not sick. She said that she honored the way I felt, but she said that I should not be saying every 5 minutes that I'm sick and every 5 minutes that I'm feeling bad. But I am sick and I'm feeling bad. And I'm cold and I'm afraid.
Did I understand you right, that you would like Blanca Maria to acknowledge that you feel sick and bad and
No,
cold?
she acknowledges that. She tells me not to say all the time that I'm sick. It's different. She does say that she knows that I'm not feeling... she says that I should say that I'm not feeling 100% instead of saying that I'm not sick.
And all of that makes you feel useless.
Like a little girl.
Like a little girl. And you don't want
Like
to tell her.
she's not taking me seriously, you know. I'm sick and I want to be taken seriously that I'm sick.
Oh, you feel she's not taking you seriously?
Yes.
You want to tell her that? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I told her already. I don't think that you are taking me seriously. But I do want to tell you thank you for coming and taking care of me.
How do you feel, Susan, now that you have told her that?
I feel something here. It's like I feel something here, and you know what? I'm very sad. I want to cry. I really, really feel like crying very hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't see any reason. You're sad.
You're very sad.
Yeah. It's difficult.
It's difficult. Now that you have told that to Blanca Maria, how do you feel?
Tired. I just want to sleep.
You just want to sleep. Okay, so when it's okay for you, please get up. Stand up from that chair and get out of that energy of yours, Susan. And please sit now on the chair of Blanca Maria.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good way of getting out of an energy. Okay, so please sit on the chair of Blanca Maria.
Hi.
Blanca Maria, what have you heard?
I heard that she's feeling very tired and that she thinks I don't take her seriously and that she didn't like it that I was telling her not to say that she was sick every 5 minutes and she that she's tired.
What of all the things she said struck you most?
Well, one can always resonate with everything that happens around us. I feel very tired also. I feel like I would love to sleep, and when I sleep, wake up and not ever have the feeling that I'm tired ever again in my life. That's what I would like for me, very much.
I would like to ask you how you feel about other things also she said. Do you remember?
No.
Something about a child?
A child?
That she feels like a child?
That I'm always telling her what to do?
Yeah.
I firmly believe that it was absolutely necessary because
I asked you how you feel
Ah.
and whether you remember what she said. It makes me feel like a child. And how does it make her feel?
Useless?
Useless.
Uh-huh.
How does that make you feel? That Susan says, well, Blanca Maria, when she tells me to do that and that and that and not to do that and that, it makes me feel like a child and useless.
It is not my intention to make her feel bad, so I really feel bad that she's feeling bad. It's not my intention to make her feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
But under such circumstances, sometimes one has to take divine...
I didn't ask you what one has to do. I just wanted to know how that makes you feel.
Well, I'm sorry that she feels bad.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell her?
Susan, I mean, I didn't want to make you feel bad at all. That's not the idea. The idea is here to support you, and I was asking you what I should do. I was asking you all the time until it came a moment when I realized that I had to take certain decisions, but I never wanted to step over you at all. But like, you know, if you're like down, bring you up. That's what I wanted to do. And I really admire you. I've always admired you, and I really love you very much. You're a great friend. I respect you and I admire you, and you know, I was overwhelmed with the situation, because I'm not trained to treat, not to treat, but this was beyond what I had ever encountered before in my life. So please understand that I only did my best every moment that I was talking with you and I was at your home.
Blanca Maria, how do you feel now that you have told her that?
Well, I remember that I felt useless.
When?
When I couldn't bring her out of this, everything is bad, everything is negative, everything, it affects me too,
And now that you hear it, how do you feel right now?
That I told her?
Yeah.
Of course I feel better. I feel better because, I had a very bad night. And what I'm really hurt now is that I've called her and I have sent her an SMS and she hasn't answered. She hasn't told me how she is.
Do you want to tell her about that you felt useless too?
Well, she knows it. She
saw me break down. Tell her again?
She saw me break down, crying. Susan, it's, I guess everything is a reflection. And when I made an assessment of the situation, I really I thought that I would be able to bring you out of it. And when I couldn't, my thoughts were, well, at least I'm really good at fixing machines. Or at least I'm really good at cooking stuff. And you didn't like, you had not even tasted my cooking. And you said you didn't want to eat it. And that's a very... That touches the situations of my past that hurt a lot. So I know it's not your fault. I'm just saying that it was a lot of energy and a lot of memories and a lot of effort.
Blanca Maria, you just said it touches. She didn't eat what you cooked.
No.
How did that make you feel and what did that touch?
Oh. But then we have to talk about my marriage.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I remember at the very beginning of my marriage, I made a duck à la orange, duck à la orange.
Canard à l'orange.
Oui. And my husband came home and I set the table fantastic and he didn't even taste it. And that sort of stayed inside of me. Very hurtful.
Is that okay if we get a chair for your husband?
Ex-husband.
Yeah? Is that okay?
Jesus. But I'm not sure that I want to...
You just put the chair in the right place.
Yeah,
okay.
Right direction. So, Susan, I just put her there, right?
Well, she still stays there. Just stay there with it.
I need a Kleenex, just a moment. I don't think I've ever worked with my ex-husband. I don't know, I don't remember.
So, how shall we call your husband?
The gorgeous one.
Let us give him another name.
Paul.
Paul. Okay. Can you see him?
Oh, yes.
What's he dressed like?
He's dressed all in white.
All in white. Do you want to tell him about the story of the
Duck?
Canard à l'orange?
Canard à l'orange. Paul, when we were recently married, I prepared really a fantastic dinner. Actually, it was really good because I did eat it. But you did not even touch the whole dinner. You did not honor all the food that I had created, and that hurts me very much. Yeah.
Blanca Maria, now that you told him, how does that make you feel?
Furious.
Furious?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell him that all of that makes you furious?
Sad?
Paul, sad. Makes you sad. What is it now, furious or sad?
Powerless.
Powerless.
I have a sense of powerlessness.
Powerless. And sad or furious or all of that?
Everything together.
Everything together. Just stay with the situation. Paul comes home and doesn't even taste your wonderful meal.
Yeah. And I don't know why.
And feel again and tell him what you feel.
You know, if you, not if you, like if the world said that I really don't know how to cook or that what I cook is not nice, but everybody says that it's, when I finally cook, it's really good. So it was not a question of taste.
Tell him how you felt, how you feel right now, and go into this feeling.
Well, I feel bad. I still feel bad. It's like it's like you robbed me of something. Like you took something away from me. Yes, you took something away from me that night, that evening. You killed something inside of me. That's it.
How does it feel to tell him that?
Good. But, of course, it's only speculation, but I don't think he cares.
So please stand
Sorry.
up.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, good. Stand up. Get out of the energy of Blanca Maria. And when you're ready, sit on the chair of Paul.
Difficult. That's very difficult.
Paul,
Yes?
have you listened to what Blanca Maria said?
Yes.
What did she say?
She said she was upset at me because I did not want to eat her meal and that I stole something away from her, and she was very hurt that evening. And
Is there anything you would like to tell her about the canard à l'orange, the duck, then?
Really tired that day. I had to pay taxes, and I would like to tell you that my father never spoke to my mother about anything. So I didn't know how to speak with you about anything either.
So what are your feelings now about this canard à l'orange?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't think I valued you. I don't think I valued you.
How does it make you feel to say I'm sorry?
I don't do that ever. Ever.
Not in reality, but here in fiction. How does it make you feel?
I did a lot of things to her. So
I ask you how that makes you feel to say I'm sorry.
feels good.
Feels good.
The soul feels like the soul rests a little bit.
Okay. Okay, Paul, when you're ready, just get up. Stand up. And get out of the energy of Paul's. And sit on the chair of Blanca Maria.
Okay.
Have you heard what he just said?
He said, I'm sorry.
How does that make you feel?
Good. Recognized.
Hmm?
Recognized.
Recognized. Mm-hmm. Good and recognized.
I could cry for 100 years.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to do it just for part of the 100 years?
I don't know if it brings anything. What does crying bring?
I don't know. You just said you wanted to cry for 100 years. Do you want to allow you to cry just for a little moment? You're looking at Susan right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at her.
Is there anything you'd like to tell her?
Well, basically it's the same thing. You can, still count on me. I would really appreciate it if you would call me and tell me how you're doing. Because I'm, sending you all this healing energy and I'm really thinking about you and I really appreciate you and I really appreciate our friendship. And most of all, that I wish you would get well very soon. I know that you're this close to getting back to yourself, and then a little bit more to get back into your full power. But you will do it, and you count on me.
How do you feel, Blanca Maria, to tell that
Good.
to Susan?
I really mean it.
Yeah. And how do you feel with yourself right now?
Grateful that I have you.
I asked with yourself.
Grateful that I have me.
Uh-huh.
It's a good life. It's a good life, so really, I'm really grateful for my life. So thank you very much.
Can we leave it here?
Yep.
There is in preparation a whole free self-help formation with the empty chair technique, with the therapy with energy and process, TEP, by the Swiss psychologist Vivienne Rauber. There are already other formations, free formations for self-help and with diploma to be a self-help teacher. The first one is the healing finger game. There are 23 lessons of about 15 minutes with work you have to do daily. Then there is the visualization TEP for problems and body symptoms. In Spanish and German there is the acupressure TEP, and now there is the empty chair technique. If you want to do it, you can also fill out the inscription form and do the work they ask you to do. Start with lesson 1 and continue with the following lessons that you find through my webpage www.vivienrauber.com, English, YouTube, and there you find the 4 different formations: the healing finger game, the visualization TEP, pressure TEP for Spanish and German, and the empty chair technique. If you want to do it seriously, fill out the inscription form and send it to me, and start with a lesson 1 and you follow through the whole formation.